Good evening, Juan Pablo. Mayra, do you hear me?
Good evening, teacher. Yes, I can.
Okay, thanks, Juan Pablo. Mayra, are you there? Thanks for turning on your camera. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Hugo.
Hello, teacher Diana.
Nice to have you back in my classes, in our tutorings.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you, teacher?
Good. Good. Well, Juan Pablo, this is the first time I see you, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I read in the virtual room that you live in Medellin, right? Close to Medellin.
No, near Medellin. I live in a town.
Okay. And you are self-employed, so I guess you do you teach English? Personalized
No,
lessons?
no, I don't teach, but I planned. I help teachers.
Okay, good. Well, Hugo is also self-employed, so but before you used to work for a company, right, Hugo? Do you guys hear me? Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, well, I was asking you, Hugo, if you used to work for a company.
Yes, teacher. 2 years. No, excuse me. 1 year ago, I worked in a company, and currently I self-employed.
Okay, and how is it? Is it hard? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
The time, um, the
Advantages.
advantage is the time. I have much time with spend with my family.
Okay, good, good. And the disadvantages?
Uh, the salary, the money.
It varies, right? It varies.
Yes,
Sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less.
exactly. Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. And Mayra, hello Mayra,
Good evening, teacher.
how are you doing? Okay, Mayra, do you teach English?
I do. I'm a preschool teacher.
Okay, good. And how long have you been teaching at the school where you work?
6 years.
For
I've been
6
teaching
years.
for 6 years.
Okay, good. Good. Now we have Leonardo. Leonardo, welcome.
Thank you, teacher.
Nice to see you again. Like I exchanged some emails with you like a couple of years ago.
Years.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
most
teachers.
years. Okay. And then I read in the virtual room that you are living in Mocoa, right?
Yes, teacher. I'm living. Actually, I live here in Mocoan. I'm still living in Mocoan.
Okay. How are the things going on there after the disaster that occurred like 2 years ago?
Mm, I think it's something is better, but the water is the same. When it's rain, the water is goes
Uh-huh.
like goes, and it's a bad quality. So you
Okay.
yes, yes. But in this moment it's very hot, like in all the country. So some there are a neighborhood for the people were um, victim of the disaster. Yes,
Uh-huh.
uh, that's it's the same. The same. Some ways are very better, but the life is the same. It's the same. This is a little town. Maybe the economy is a little slow. Yes, it's because to getting better about the disaster is slow. Is becoming years.
In our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other places it doesn't happen the same. But okay, so what changed is that there is a new neighborhood for people who suffer.
Mm, maybe no, in my neighborhood not. They construct some walls near the rivers.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they construct that. Some people came here again, but they have to go because there was a year ago, a mini avalanche. So they understood that they didn't come there again. Yes, and maybe the tourism is getting better. Yes,
Yeah.
the tourism is getting better. Yes, because there are about the they
Foreigners.
come
Foreigners.
foreigners and
Okay.
people from the uh, another departments of Colombia are coming here. So there is a yes,
So like people
that's
go there to
getting better.
what is going on with the town, like to see if things change. Do you think that that's the reason why there
Mm,
are foreigners and visitors?
yes, yes, because it's extremo to come here. They
Uh,
love that. So here is very natural. When you go to El Fin del Mundo, you,
what's that?
we have a joke. El, el mundo está cerca. El fin del mundo está cerca. No, don't say that. No, it's here 5 kilometers near here. Because it's a tourist place called the fin del mundo.
But you,
Because it was the end of the world for the Indians, the Aborigines. It's very beautiful.
the
It's a
indigenous communities, but what happens there? What can people
and
see there?
it's like it's a it's a beautiful waterfall.
Okay.
It's a beautiful waterfall. When you enter into the go up to the mountain, you enter totally to the jungle.
Mm.
Total. You enter. If you don't have, you can go there because there is very good signs. There are very good signs. But if you don't cross the river in the place, you could lose. And there are another place is it's called the Ojo de Dios.
Uh-huh.
If you go without the guide, you lost. Yes.
Okay.
And here there are caverns, beautiful caverns in private places.
Mm.
And
Nice.
maybe the tourism is getting better, but know each other. There are two hotels 4 stars.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, it's nice, but I think it could be better because there is no united. Yes, there is no united here. Yes,
So
but
people don't work together in order to improve the tourism in that area.
yes, yes. There are some areas that are very beautiful, but the indigenous that don't like you go there because it's sacred. It's
Sacred,
are sacred, are
sacred
sacred,
places.
sacred places. And for example, if you go, there are here three kinds of Putumayo: medium Putumayo, down Putumayo, and high Putumayo. High Putumayo is near to el Lago de la Cocha, to the Pasto. Yes. The
Okay.
medium is where Mocoa is located, and the low Putumayo is the um, how do you say in English? The jungle valley. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Here is a pure air.
Yeah, you're
Very
surrounded by nature, I guess.
yes, it's beautiful. It's nice, and it's very calm. Very calm. Here in Mocoa, it's very calm.
Well,
Nothing happens.
thanks for telling us about that. Well, at least I didn't know about Putumayo. It's not an area that I had visited before. Uh, well, I don't been in any part of the south of the country, so it's a plan for my future, and it's nice to know that. I mean, everything that you told us about Putumayo, to have
Okay,
that in
teacher.
mind. Thank you. Okay, Henry, welcome, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, teacher.
Henry, you live in Neiva, right?
Neighbor, right? I moved out from Villavicencio to Neiva 2 months ago. I got married the last year on December 21st, and currently I'm living here. So
Okay.
everything for me is new.
Congratulations, Eloy.
Thank you.
I was going to say.
Congratulations to
Thank you.
good wishes.
Yes, thank you.
So, have you been to Desierto de la Tatacoa?
No yet, no yet.
You are very
Yeah,
close.
I would like to go, but we are waiting until the Holy Week,
Ah, okay.
so we can go. It's near. I think it's like
It's near, yeah.
30 minutes.
And this year they have a special calendar for different astronomical events that are
Hmm.
occurring during the whole year. So it's nice.
Have you been in the Desierto de la Tatacoa?
Just once a year ago in January.
Oh, there. Ooh, my goodness.
And then I got the Facebook account of
Okay.
the observation area
Hmm.
there, and they publish what they will do during the whole year and what they have been doing regarding the observation of the stars and,
Ooh,
well, that stuff. So that's
sounds
what
good.
I know. They have like a special calendar for those events, and this year they have a lot of uh, projects
Okay. Okay.
regarding the observation of different stars.
Yeah, my wife said that it is a wonderful place. Like, Huila is a beautiful department, so maybe later because actually we're working on our schools. It's a little bit hard to go out.
It's really hot, right?
Yeah, really hard. But everything is new for me.
What's the
I
highest
have to,
temperature there?
oh my goodness, it's like 36, 37. For
36?
example, yes. For example, right now, let me check. Hmm. No, it's 32.
42.
It's
42.
30, 30.
32.
Yes. For me, it's
Okay.
very hard because I used to live in Villavicencio many years, and the temperature is lower than here.
Uh-huh.
It's warmer, but at the same time, it's humid. Here is very dry, you know,
Yeah.
that is different. And the air is really hot, really, really hot. And most of the people that I meet or met, they have air conditioner at home.
I guess it is necessary.
It is a privilege, right? And
Oh,
everything is cheaper. Like uh, kilo of tomato, it costs like mm, like 1,000 pesos, I think, a little bit more. And in Villavicencio is like 1,800. Like, yeah, but it's good. Everything because of my decision.
I had a friend who used to live in Villavicencio. He once told me that the cost of different objects are high because it used to be an area that got money from the oil.
Yeah,
So that made it life expensive there. But
yeah.
now it changed.
Here is Neiva is a small city, but it's nice. I like it. It's mm, I don't know how to say, but it's like uh, you can find things of a small town, like the people is nice. Yeah, if I say hello, they answer back hello. It's not like in Bogota you say hello and the people is like,
Yeah, you
who
think
are you? Like,
going
yeah,
to rob you.
yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, usually, I mean, there are friendlier people in other cities different to Bogota.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I thought it was kind of nice to have like a all of you are from different or are living in different cities in Colombia. Juan Pablo lives close to Medellin. Leonardo lives in Mocoa. You are living in Neiva. Mayra is living in Cali. And Hugo lives in
Yeah,
Bogota. So all of you are from different parts of the country, which is interesting to know a little bit about each place. Well, um, also, what I want you to do for this encounter is to share the information that you had for the first task. If you want, you can
okay.
ask your classmates questions. The idea is that I will show a PowerPoint presentation just with pictures about the topics that you read, and you will have some time to answer some questions and tell your classmates about the topic that you read for the task. And as I told you, you can ask anytime your classmates questions
Okay.
to make it more interesting, right? So I have here that Mayra Nugo, you read the topic or listened to the video about drugs in Portugal. So I'm going to have you look at the pictures about that topic, and I would like Mayra, please, to start telling us what you remember about the problem, the causes, the solutions. And then Hugo, I would like you to add information and tell us about your own um, opinion about the way Portuguese people solve the problem.
Okay. So, when the video was about drugs in Portugal, and it became in a drugs crisis, everything started with a dictator, Antonio Salazar, yeah. And so the country was very close to other things, but then people, when they get tired of that, the Carnation Revolution came. The carnation, I think those are the flowers, the flowers. So with the Carnation Revolution, I think it was in 1974. With the Carnation Revolution, the country was exposed to freedom. The war in Africa ended, and well, with all this freedom, drugs, well, were more like easy to act for people. Was easy to access to drugs. Those drugs came from Arabic countries, and well, now that drugs were easy to find, so people, there are many people users of drugs. I think there were like, I mean, well, many. I don't remember like exactly the numbers, but there were many people like using drugs. So the solution that some professionals found was to decriminalize the decriminalization of drugs, so that personal like use of drugs was legal. And so instead of sending people to jail, they sent these drugs users to rehab. So the amount of people in rehab increased. So they were helping people instead of sending them to jail, and that was like an easy way to show people that, I mean, drugs are bad and they were killing people. So the deaths of people consuming drugs was decreased. There were less people dying because of that. More people in rehab, so it means that the government was helping those people. And what else? I don't remember more. Okay, the money. So instead of like the funds to fight drugs, instead of giving more money to fight drugs, they were giving more money to healthcare and helping those people.
Your daughter?
My son.
Your son?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Thanks, Mayra. Hugo, do you want to add any information?
Yes, teacher. At a team of doctors was created to rethink the problem, the drugs problem. In, in this team, the doctor Joao Goulao,
Yes.
yes, Joao Goulao, um, propose um, propose a solution, uh, and a solution that the user of drugs are not considered criminals. Uh, mm,
Bad
but
patients.
yes, but rather as a patient, um, they these people, the the user of drugs, um, made a the dissuasion panel made for I don't remember lawyers and social workers,
Yes.
social workers, yes,
Psychologists.
psychologists too, yes, yes. Uh, um, Eh, no, please. I don't remember more.
Okay. Juan, Leonardo, and Henry, do you have questions for Mayra and Hugo about the topic?
Okay, me, can I?
Yes, sure, Leonardo.
Oh, okay, I sent you a message. I think, I thought. No, I sent you a message that I think that yes, it's a part of solution to to become in a legal the you can decrease it it can decrease, yes, the dealer, but I think it could be must be uh, get each other with the punishment, yes, 50-50, I think. What do you think,
Hugo and Mayra.
hello,
Yes, Hugo.
Juan Mayra?
Mhm. So Leonardo thinks that it is better not to decriminalize or legalize completely, 100%, but also to have like, or to give room to some punishment to those people who consume drugs. I mean, not to make it legal 100%.
Okay, I think that that the drug use should be discriminalized in, as Portugal, but no discriminalize the drug traffic or drug trafficking.
Okay. So not to punish the addict, but to punish the person who sells the drugs.
Yes, it's not the same both situation.
Okay, Mayra, what do you think?
Um, well, I agree on what Hugo is saying, but I think that also in the video, the solution with people in rehab, I think in a long like term, drug business will like be over because if people are not using drugs, it's different when people are, yeah, drug users are sent to jail because they will still using drugs there. But in rehab, they will be healed, like per se something, and so they will stop consuming, no, they will stop using drugs, so the business will be like getting over. So I think in a long term it is a good solution even for our country. And to answer what Leonardo asked, well, it is not legal 100%. It says in the video that it's only your personal drugs, not like having many
Okay.
drugs.
And
Mhm.
don't you think that the decriminalization of drugs uh, may be permissiveness, yeah, or over tolerance?
I don't understand. I didn't get it.
So, well, I'm sorry. I guess like what Juan Pablo wants to say is that by legalizing drugs, you are allowing people to or you are promoting that more people consume drugs. Is that your idea, Juan Pablo?
Mm, no, kind of. is is like if you allow that people use drugs. I understand that it has a reason, yeah. It's important to attend that community, but allow the criminalization of drugs, I think we could think that it is permissive. I don't know how to pronounce that, permissiveness over tolerance.
Mm,
But
I see.
what's if you legalize drug, or if a country legalize drugs, is because the idea is to think about the problem, in this case, as a health problem, not treating the person as a criminal, but as a victim who is suffering from something that is causing him or her the addiction. So the idea is to treat the patient when legalizing the drug. In the case of Portugal, was just legalizing a small amount of drug, not the business, not people who sell the drugs in big amounts. So what Portugal in this case legalized was the minimum amount that a person can consume, to see the problem as people who consume are patients, are sick, and they are not uh, like criminals. So it's as Mayra mentioned before, two different things. Is legalizing the drugs, but only for the person who consumes that, the small amounts that they usually consume, and not the business. Any other question for Hugo, Mayra, or maybe you want to share your own opinion about how to deal with drugs?
Teacher, I I believe that a possible alternative is to legalize, but gradually legalize
Yeah,
the drugs consumption, uh, together with prevention and education, to prevent consumption.
exactly. Okay. So, in your opinion, legalizing drugs in gradually, as you said, but thinking
Yeah,
about education and mhm,
I
yes,
had a
teacher.
question about
Because we have been fighting drugs in Colombia, maybe 40 years or more, and the model of Colombia and the United States is the same model. That is a war. It has no served in this moment.
and we don't have good results, positive results, or changes, big changes,
Yes,
the
yes,
way we
exactly.
have been dealing with the problem. Okay, Henry, you,
yes. Uh, I noticed that Portugal is a better country because of it, like legalizing drugs in some aspects will help the country to improve, for example, their its health system, yeah, and at the same time it helps people to look for different solutions to the problem concerning the drugs. Um, mm, Hugo and Mayra, do you think that we can apply those strategies in Colombia like they did, or maybe it's not mm,
Uh-huh.
it's not like we couldn't do it in Colombia?
I think that it is a great idea. It is, and it has worked in Portugal. And I watched like more videos about this doctor, and he talked like in other countries because it is something that is working there. So the problem here in Colombia is that, I do think that drug dealers, they are into politics things. So I think it's not like good for the government and even many things like to decrease the amount of drugs users because that is
Okay.
a business in Colombia.
Yeah,
So I think there are many things like involved. So I think this will never happen because this country is crazy. But it will be like the solution. That will be the solution. And this is a traditional thinking also. Many people will think that so if drugs are legal, uh, teenagers they will start consuming drugs. But I mean, it's so easy to get drugs in this country that I think even if it is legal, I mean, we can have access to drugs any
okay.
corner in our neighborhood. So, but there are many traditional people that will think that this is like the worst solution.
Yeah, I think I think that in Colombia we can work on this, on that. Sorry, but at the same time, I think like, for example, the students have to receive a different education about drugs. Yeah, for example, when I was like 10 years old, I received some classes of that program was called DARE, and it was given by the La Policía Nacional, the police. And in that program, taught us about the negative impacts of drugs in our life. Yeah, and I think is we can start teaching about to our youngs about that things because it is like essential to their lives because drugs you can find drugs everywhere like they are the druggers are mm, making new strategies to get addictions. How do you say? Yeah, like people who
Addicts.
consume ad, okay, to consume drugs. So I think it's the best way to start thinking about how do we uh, teach the people, or in this case, the young people to avoid drugs.
Right. So so far in our country we have thought about legalizing it, but I guess this is key. If we are going to do that, we need money to
Enforcement.
have the psychologists, the doctors, the social workers, education for the addicts, for the patients, right? It's not just to legalize it and that's it. That
Mhm.
doesn't solve the problem. We need a plan, a program, something organized to deal with the problem. Maybe, right? Because in the case of Portugal, the problem emerged from a change of freedom, a change they had from a government that was very rigid and very strict to a government that gave more freedom to people. So people were used to be controlled to not to have that freedom of choosing things for themselves. So when they had the time or when they had the opportunity, they got crazy. And then besides that, the drug at that time was very cheap. So that were the two problems that caused or that were the two causes that for the problem. We also need to analyze, I guess, the causes of the problems here to find out if we can solve the problem in the same way.
Mhm.
So as Mayra mentioned, one cause is that it's a business. What other cause do you think we have for drug problems in Colombia?
I think that people sometimes prefer getting a job selling drugs instead of working in an office because you have to work 8 hours, yeah, and you can make money like double money in 4 hours selling drugs. So I think it's easier for them selling drugs because they can sell drugs at home or on the streets. Yeah.
Right. So other
So
cause could be that one that you mentioned. People might think that selling drugs is easier for them to get money than
yeah.
having a legal job. What other cause?
Here in Colombia, there is a problem, no? Because, for example, here in the Putumayo, there are marijuana
Mm-hmm.
no? Okay, so they like to legalize, yes, but they say, okay, we can we can buy only the colons of the farmer says, okay, we can only buy all these seeds, the the marijuana to to buy to buy to buy to sell excuse me to sell to the hospitals to how do you say to
Okay. To
yes
laboratories and
to
hospitals.
laboratories, but buy in Colombia, buy to the farmers. There's no problem, and they know they here is very small, and we know each other. So the security could be. They say, okay, we can go out all the all the cartels. Yes, Mexican, and they say they put in agree with the guerrillas. Say, okay, and the government says no, we are going to give the monopoly to the big companies from the United States or Europe, and it's a social problem here. They say, you you say, okay, uh, punish here the farmers, yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
or sell sell all the medicinal marijuana
Uh-huh.
to United States as the price. They say no,
So
it's not.
you're
So
talking
it's
about a business, which means,
yes,
I mean, in which there are only two or three companies or or organizations you can sell the product. You can sell in this case marijuana to those specific companies or countries.
the idea here is to become the marijuana business in a like a Cafe Colombia. Yes, something
Uh-huh.
like this, but only medicinal and tourism. No smokes or just like a mm, to come here because here that plan is like coca, yes, is sacred, yes,
It's sacred.
it's sacred,
Because
and they, excuse me, teacher.
no, yeah, because I was thinking that that's an area, Putumayo is an area where there are a lot of indigenous communities. So that's why it's
Yes,
in that area, marijuana is same as coca leaves are sacred
yes,
plants.
yes. You can, for example, you use the marijuana, I think, to, for example, to the varices. Is very nice. You put in a alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
They don't smoke that. They they make cords. Yes, cords with the marijuana. Because remember, marijuana is not from Colombia, from not the Americas. The Spaniards came with the marijuana, not from to make. They didn't know. They did sogas, and with the branches of marijuana and the leaves, you can do very very hard um, sogas cords.
Okay. So it was used for different purposes before.
Ah, yes, yes. The Spaniards come here.
Medicine purposes.
Here in this century, the when the indigenous discovered that they discovered all the plants as properties, medicine properties. The Americans were was the Americans were that discovered it was the when they go to Vietnam, that in Vietnam they use that to getting better in the war. Yes, and they
Okay.
came here. Soldiers came here in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. There are a lot of six of that plant, and here in this century.
Okay. Nice to know that.
Teacher,
Hugo.
I think is a similar to case of alcohol. I think that at the beginnings of the 20th century, uh, the alcohol was banned, prohibited in the United States, and there there were very big mafias, Italian mafias, I think. Uh, After the consumption, well, the drugs, the alcohol consumption was legalized, and the problem of mafias and deaths and massacres
Uh-huh.
ends. Ends. I don't know. Today they are alcoholic people, but there are health programs for those people. We get alcohol anywhere, anytime, but we are not all alcoholics. Alcoholics, yes. The same the same could happen with drugs. I think.
Okay. Well, and besides, there are different types of drugs, right? In the case of Portugal, the video was about heroin,
Sure. Yes.
but then we are talking about marijuana, which is different. You know that heroin is the most dangerous. The addiction is really serious. The reaction of the body is also more serious compared to marijuana. So there are different drugs. They are different drugs. This is a plant, and heroin is a mixture of chemicals with something with one part of a plant and other things. So causes more dangerous. That causes more danger to the body of a person that a marijuana, since it is a mixture of chemicals and other things. Juan?
According to the video, because I watched it too, yeah, to reply on the forum. The topic talk on that video, the decriminalization. But as you have said, teacher, it only has reduced for some drugs. Yeah. For example, there are, I don't remember the drugs, but there are drugs who are consumed. Yeah. Yes, and so I think the criminalization of drugs or is something serious. Yeah, it should be some measures for that, because okay, we can't reduce the consume of some drugs, but I think the idea is to reduce everything. Yeah, because you can reduce the use of a drug, but it continues um, it continues being a problems of health. So that's, I think.
Okay, I got it. So to find out what's the cause, right? What do people consume drugs? Why do people want uh, to do something that causes bad reactions to your body? What's the reason why people do that? Okay, any other opinion or question?
Well, I think one of the main reasons is also lack of education, but at home. I mean, when parents don't talk to their kids about drugs and all their consequences, it happens. It's similar to, I mean, this dictator Antonio Salazar, like kept Portugal like close to many things. It happens. There are many parents that are like that. They don't talk about drugs at home. So when kids are teenagers and free, it happens the same. So they try many things, and it's because they have never heard about it, so they don't know what consequences it is using drugs, I mean, has. So I think it's also like people are not talking about it because it's also a taboo or something like that. So I think maybe if we talk more about this, uh, even since they are little, so they will know that this bring bad consequences, and it is not cool because you are using drugs. You're not going to be a cool person. So I think that could be one of the reasons.
Thanks, Mayra. Yes, I agree. Like people are very curious, right? And it seems that curiosity is one of the main reasons for teenagers to start using drugs. So if you consider those topics a taboo, that causes that people get curious and try them and make the problem uh, more difficult. Okay, any other idea or question? All right, so Juan, you watch a video about the possibility to use renewable energy 100%. So again, I'm going to share a screen. This time we have some questions here with the pictures. So Juan and Leonardo, actually, you both watched the video about Federico and Renzo. right? And they talked about the possibility to use renewable energy 100% instead of uh, instead of oil. Okay, so again, I would like Juan Pablo to start, like trying to answer the questions, and then Leonardo to add information, ask questions, or answer your classmates' questions, and give your opinion about this topic. So, Juan?
Okay. To answer that question, we have to know that oil isn't um, a renewable
Source.
element. Yeah, source, that's the correct word. It's a renewable source. That's why it won't last forever. Federico and Renzo, the authors of the video, think that uh, that we can run out of oil in 50 years because we have uh, and gastar waste, no, spend maybe,
Exactly. Yes.
because we have spent 40% of oil. Yeah, in 50 years uh, the world might be without oil.
Okay. And who were Federico and Renzo?
I
Who are they?
didn't
Because they are alive. Do you remember?
know, teacher, I don't know.
Leonardo, do you remember? Who are they? Well, they are Italian scientists, and they
Yes,
were
they are activists and scientists that they're very interested in this topic. They analyze very good that, for example, it's nice that, for example, the lithium batteries, for example, the lithium batteries are performing in bicycles, in cars, but they need a very, uh, they, they are very, when you use, for example, in a, in the industry, it's very difficult because they need to be refrigerated. Yes,
uh-huh.
and you waste more energy to make a make put in function this. So, for example, if you take a little thing like a cameras, like some cars, like motorcycles, bicycles, yes, it's good. But this is the big question. This is the big searching. Yes, challenge. I think it's a challenge.
Yeah, that's a challenge to find out how to make the lithium batteries more
Effective.
effective. Thank you. Right. Okay. So yes, Federico and Renzo are scientists. They are Italian. They are teachers too, and they have been researching about this topic. Okay. Then here we have the second question. Juan, please go ahead, and Leonardo, you please add information
Mhm.
after Juan
Um,
Pablo.
okay, the main uses humans or we give or we give to energy are electricity, yeah, and the use of fuels, yeah, of fossil fuels, yeah, the gasoline, gas. They are the main uses. As we know, the electricity is used at home, in our homes, in the factories, and the main use of fossil fuels are they are mainly used for transportation.
Okay, this
Uh,
one. Yeah, Leonardo.
Yes, for example, the solar energy is increasing the use, yes. But for example, in our countries that we are always have a bad under the sun, for example, in Neiva, no, they don't use the energy, yes, yes. But in our countries, it's very expensive, yes, it's very expensive. When you invest in solar energy, the results, you see the results in 5, 10 years. Here in the Putumayo, there are some farmers that they using and they are disconnecting from the energy because it's better. Yes, for example, when you use to at night are very practical. Yes.
Okay, yeah. In Mocoa, you have more uh, sun days than in
Oh,
Bogota, so you can get more sun and store it in panels, for example. And I've seen in some cities that have more sun during the year, they have those panels to get energy for the traffic lights. So in those places, it is possible to use that solar energy uh, because you get more sun during the year. But in other cities, it's not possible. That's one problem.
teacher, here in Mocoa, the system of early warmer, yes, is functioned by solar system.
To
That
warm
they
the
to warn
system.
advertencia to warn to
But
early.
what? How does that system work?
For example, they put some sensor near the rivers, yes, and when
Um,
the river get up the fluence, the alarms get up.
Sounds.
Sounds, yes.
Inform
That
sounds.
sounds in the Red Cross, no, in all the town, because the people
Scared.
get hysterical. No, but is nice, it's good, and some on all the advertence. I don't know the early is doing
Warning.
function. Okay, function by energy, solar systems, and it's good. It's a good. So it could be it's a good and and some security cameras. All the security cameras function by solar system. So okay, no, it's not too bad at all.
Okay, good. Good to know that. Okay, so Juan, this question, please.
Mm, Federico Lorenzo, uh, the the um, the title of the video is in general renewable energy, but in the video it's talk about the energy from the sun, yeah, because we can use the source to to produce energy to satisfy our needs. But why the sun? Uh, because it radiates a lot of watts, yeah, and we can use that energy. That we can say that that energy is being wasted, yeah, but we can use it.
Okay. So far we have some technologies. Currently we have some technologies. What are the advantages of those technologies that we have in the present?
Mm, they can use no they might be improved, yeah, we have that we have technology, yeah, but it doesn't work for this purpose. we have ideas, but it's necessary to be improved.
Okay. At least, I mean, the advantage is that at least we have already some devices to capture the energy, but they are not effective enough, right? So we need to
Yeah,
improve it, as you mentioned,
yeah, and that's the challenge. Yeah,
and that's the challenge, right? So as you mentioned, that's one of the challenge to make it more effective. And what is the other challenge? When we mention to make it more effective, it means that the technology needs to be able to produce what or to do what.
Sure. The thing is, for example, to be cheaper. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
That's one challenge.
becoming that's the challenge. Could be this the channel efficiency energy transportation.
yeah,
That is the advantage of the petroleum, for example, because the petroleum that is and the coal. Yes, the coal,
Exactly. Cool. Yes.
coal. Yes, because for example, with uh, you know, for example, in the in the motos, in the motorcycles, with 5,000 of pesos, you can run with 1 week. Yes, and
It's
if
cheap.
you need
Uh-huh.
this, it's cheaper. It's cheaper than the, for example, the lithium batteries. The lithium batteries, at least the most modern, 50 kilometers, and it's they are very expensive. For example, a bicycle with that costs 10 10,000 euros. Yes, or
Uh-huh.
a good motorcycle, 25,000 euros. A car, the cars are the same. No, it's too cheap. It's not too cheap in the moment. I don't know the prices here in Colombia, but it's not too cheap. No, it's not too cheap. And for example, the challenge is, for example, to use in airplanes, for example. It 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 would be possible. It becomes more cheaper and cheaper flies.
Right.
Yes, that
So
is the challenge. This is the big challenge for
to
the
convert
scientist.
to convert that energy into chemical. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So we don't know yet how to do that. Or if we know how to do that, or scientists know how to do that, the amount of energy that can be stored in batteries is smaller
yeah,
compared to the amount of energy that can be stored in the tanks that we have in cars, in airplanes, in buses. So that's why those batteries that are the lithium batteries or the batteries that work with solar energy are not that effective. We just can use the car for a certain kilometers, for short amounts of kilometers, compared to the kilometers that can be run or can be uh, can the cars can go through when we use oil.
in that sense, teacher, um, to use that energy into that batteries, I think it would be necessary big batteries, and they think that isn't efficient.
Okay, right. So that's one. So we know how we have the objects, the devices, but we can store a lot of power in those devices. And the other challenge, what is the other challenge? If we compare oil with a with solar power,
Teacher, for example, the renewable
renew, renew,
ren, renew,
renewable.
renewable sources, for example, the water. You need, for example, we have a lot, yes, here in Colombia, but the cost to make the places where you can uh, proceed the water to convert to become in energy is very expensive, and and are the places where you can get are far from the cities. Yes,
Exactly. That's the other problem. So
that's the other problem. Yes,
How to carry
that
it.
is.
how to move that energy
Mhm.
to other places where there is no sun the whole year.
Oh, yes, for example.
Yeah? So we can have that energy or these solutions, those panels in places where they get sun the whole year. But what
And
about the other cities?
for example, in excuse me, teacher, in the Saudi Arabian, they are forming big gardens, huge gardens of solar system because they have a lot sun. We know, yes,
Uh-huh.
they are doing that. Here in Colombia and the La Guajira, years ago, they tried to do a windy garden, yes,
Uh-huh.
in
And
La
what
Guajira.
happened?
The last thing, the last notice that is destroyed. They did that excellent. That it was an excellent project because it was located in Punta Gallinas, and that place flies the wind all the time in a strong way. Yes,
Uh-huh.
the project was to become the economy of the rancherias could be increased with this kind of
Technology.
this technology. But I don't know what happened. You go there and you look there
And that's
on the land.
Guajira
Co-
is the richest or one of the richest departments in Colombia. They have coal, they have wind, they have sun, they have sea, they have different resources. That is one of the poorest.
yes.
Yeah, okay. So tell us any questions for Leonardo and Juan Pablo, comments about this topic, or probably something that you've seen in the places where you live that is run with solar power.
Teacher, I have a presentation to share. Can I?
Ah, yeah. So
Yes.
let's see.
Can I?
Uh,
Okay, this is my presentation. So
okay.
I was we have talked about this. This is an example. Uh,
Different
the first
types of
one,
renewable
different
energy.
types. Yes, this is a comparison of, for example, we were talking about the fly gardens, the solar gardens, and the coal garden. Yes, it's very, and the coal, what, for example, we have two factors of mm, energies, but it's not is not used all the year, and it's only used in the um, Atlantic coast.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's very polite, on pollute, and
Polluting.
very expensive to run that. So here is an atomic is a it could be a good source, but they're very dangerous. And for example, they use is very economic when it's in a good to use in a good manner. For example, atomic submarine with a very little battery, atomic battery, you can run a submarine for 50 years. So it can, but only for the war. So here is another, the famous lithium batteries. And here some use some uses like uh, bikes
For bikes and for cars.
and cars.
Mhm.
Yes, this
Thank
is
you,
right.
Leonard.
You're
So,
welcome.
did any of you have one of those bicycles? Or
I can I love to get it. This is my project, and
oh,
it's not too expensive because the the tasks that you have to pay are very expensive. In this kind of energy, in a bicycle is very cheap. It's very cheap because you don't need pay. How do you say taxes like
that's
so
it.
what? Nothing like special. Only to have the helmet,
Uh-huh.
and you, for example, if you use good the the energy of this bicycle, you can run with that bicycle near to the city for about 3 days, and you can use that batteries for about 5 years. Depends of the use that you need.
So you need those batteries need to be uh, charged
Recharge,
after
of
after
course.
30
This
days. After 30 days, you say? I mean, if
yes, for example, it could you could use these batteries for about 5 years, but more because you can use depends on the use. It's like a mobile. But if you use in an economic way, or depends of the use, depends of the weight of the person. For example, depends of the weather.
uh,
But it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a motorcycle.
okay.
And here there is a market of motorcycles. There is
That use that
a
kind of
place
battery.
when you can buy motorcycles.
Can people
Nice.
charge the batteries in the same place where those cycling
Yes,
bicycles are sold?
yeah, it's another advantage because it's very cheap. For example, in a month you waste about 5,000 pesos. Depends of the uses that you
Do you think
yes.
it could be a good business to start a place where people could charge their batteries for bicycles and motorcycles?
Here, no, it's not. No, because here is all the things are very near. Yes. For example, you all people go to their home to get lunch, to have lunch. So here not because
It's not
here
necessary.
is not necessary. But in a bigger cities like Cali, for example, or Medellin, it could be a good business. Could be a good business, maybe.
Henry, have you seen
Oh,
those types of bicycles in Neiva?
I think there is a place where you can buy that bicycles. Here in Mocoa, only motorcycles.
Okay.
Miss, I don't think I haven't seen that kind of bicycles. Um, people the people in Neighbor, they are used to use motorcycle, like traditional motorcycles. There are so many motorcycles here, more than cars. And it's been a, it has been a big problem to to the city because there are so many accidents. Yeah, and that is something that other cities are trying to avoid, right?
And
And they are trying to use bicycle systems.
have you seen motorcycles that work with those type of batteries with lithium?
Mm, I so many years ago, I I got the opportunity to see, but in the United States, it is usual, but in Colombia, no. It's not affordable. We can say that,
Uh-huh. Yes.
yeah, because thieves, yeah,
So you
you know
mean
what I
that
mean?
they are
Like,
more expensive?
yes, a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, they are more expensive, but people sometimes they are afraid of having those kind of motorcycles or bikes because it could be stolen. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
and
Well, but
that's
they are affordable if people can
yeah,
buy it, if they have the money. But in the case,
yeah,
in that case, it's dangerous. Dangerous for people to
hmm,
have them because what you are saying is the reason is that they can be stolen.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mayra, have you seen those bicycles or motorcycles in Cali?
No, I haven't. I
And
haven't.
okay, and Juan Pablo, no, we don't know what happened. We have Hugo, we have those bicycles alone in Bogota. Have you seen the places where people can uh, recharge those batteries?
No, teacher. Mm, I haven't seen these places. No.
Okay, I just know a place in Salitre where taxis that use a different battery can be charged, but just know one place. But I've seen lots of those bicycles. But I don't know where people can charge them. I don't know if they charge them at home or if they have a special place. But here, those devices are more common every day. Even thinking about that, the city is not that safe.
Hmm.
But yes, so there are more and more every day. Good. Did any of you have seen like any device in the places where you work that are powered with solar energy or with other renewable energy?
Here in Cali, Universidad Autónoma, I think they started with that solar system. It's like in the parking lot. It is located there. I don't know how they use it or what is it for, but I have seen it there.
You've seen the panels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in Colombia, but I had the opportunity to live in Chile. And in Chile, there are some cities that use solar systems and they connect the panels with the traffic lights. Yeah,
Okay. So you've seen them in
but
traffic lights included and in any
yeah,
other, with any other object?
And in Pereira, there's they they put a place, the the mayor from Dos Quebradas to Pereira, where you take the bicycles by free. Yes, by free, uh, from Dos Quebradas to Pereira.
Okay.
There are many people to use, and in Manizales too.
All right.
So they use, you can save money because it's free.
Good. Okay. So well, we could maybe think about a business that implies the use of the selling of those devices or those machines or places for people to charge those batteries. It could be because in the future we will need other ways to uh, get energy and power different appliances. So it could be maybe a good business for the future.
Teacher, I think that maybe the problem is with the fuel, yeah, because, but I think, for example, the appliances or devices that which use energy, maybe there won't be, or there might be a problems with that because uh, we use water and water is a renewable source. Maybe with that, but the problem is with with the devices which use uh, gasoline, gas. I think that.
Yeah, so as you mentioned in the presentation, technology still needs to be improved in order to overcome problems of cost and problems of transportation. So people start using them instead of using oil. But it needs to be, I mean, technology needs to work on that, or scientists need to work on that fast because we are running out of oil and the other
Yeah.
sources. And we need to move very quickly to other ways of power or energy. So that's why I'm thinking it could be in a near future, it could be a good business to find out how other people or how other countries have been dealing with those sources of energy so that we can offer here either the objects or uh, the way for people to recharge those batteries like what we have right now, like the oil stations. We will need something similar for those type of batteries that are.
For example, in Medellin, I have in Medellin works uh, electrical buses. I don't know if that's correct.
Uh-huh.
Electrical buses,
Yes.
yeah. The and if I not wrong, taxis, electrical taxis to M. Once I saw an station that you mentioned where they
Exactly.
can
So
recharge.
we need
But I
more
mean,
stations.
but I believe with energy maybe, yeah, electrical. But obviously they have batteries.
Uh-huh. But we need more stations. So because same as with oil stations that we find everywhere, we need those stations everywhere for to move to the other means of transportation that are based on those type of energies so that we can charge in more places or we can have more options to charge the batteries in different places. We don't have that possibility right now. That's one difficulty, and the
Teacher,
others are the ones that you mentioned.
And I think that mm, people couldn't use electrical devices or for transportation, in this case transportation device, a device for transportation or means of transportation, and because for example they need a time to be charged, and it
Exactly.
demands time. So and fuel you only charge with the gasoline and you continue driving. But if we want to use that source energy, is a process. It's a very complicated process.
It takes longer. It
Yeah,
takes more time to charge those batteries.
yeah.
But however, I'm still wondering how those bicycles and motorcycles work, because if they need to be charged, uh, then it could be a good opportunity to find out a business on offering those places where people could charge those batteries. It, I think it might be necessary in a near future to offer those places so people can move or start buying those motorcycles and bicycles for cities like Medellin, like Cali, like Neiva, where distances are longer and people need a means of transportation that also helps to overcome the problems of traffic and more and cost also, the lower the cost of getting a taxi or getting a bus or getting a train in the case of Medellin. And yeah, I think it will be like soon, very soon. If that started in Bogota, as far as I see, because Mayra says that she has not seen that much in Cali, and Juan Pablo, maybe you have not seen that in Medellin, so maybe that's what's gonna happen in the near future in the big cities, that people will start using more those bicycles and motorcycles.
And teaching now the problem with the use of oil, the problem is the that in the future it will be run out. Yeah, but another problem is the pollution that in the video it was mentioned that too.
Exactly. We also need to find out other sources to solve that problem. Okay, well, still we have other presentation, but we run out of time. So I will ask Henry to talk about the topic of a places
Yes.
of Africa that is running out of water,
Mhm.
but for our next encounter, for next Tuesday,
Okay. Okay.
right? And for next Tuesday, we'll also discuss the information that you are watching in the videos related to the economy and changes in our economy regarding agreements, economical agreements with other countries. If I'm not wrong, you are reading about that, right? Ah, no, sorry. That's not the topic for you.
Footprint.
The topic
Okay.
for you is the footprint calculator. Yes. So we will discuss that topic and the results that you have for that exercise, and the possible changes that you might start thinking about to solve, to load your carbon footprint. So we will talk about that in our next encounter. So I will ask Henry to start next encounter with your presentation and with your,
Okay.
that's your presentation, and then we will discuss the topic of carbon footprint calculator,
Okay.
right? Any question about the tasks or about the evaluation system? Dexway, but Dexway, you will have access to it very soon. The university finally bought the licenses last Friday, so it means that
Mhm.
before the end of the week, you will have access to this one. But
Okay.
George Munoz will email you to let you know the day when you can have the access to it.
But teacher, for example, but if it is available for this week, we have to develop 2 units, yeah?
Yes, as usual, when you get access to this way, you will have to start working on all the exercises because at the end of well, this course is for the whole semester, but in the middle of the course, after 9 weeks, you will be given one grade for your tasks or for your exercises in next week. So yes, as you will work on that as usual, right? But yeah, I promise it will be, as I told you, the university bought the licenses last Friday, so uh, I am pretty sure you will have access by before the end of the week to the platform.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so thanks a lot for your presentations and your participation, and have a good night. See you next week.
See you next
Okay,
week.
teacher.
Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
you,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Have
Thank
a
you,
good night.
teacher.
Bye bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.